With us now, two eyewitnesses to the crisis in Ukraine, former House GOP Chief of Staff and Executive Producer of A Faith Under Siege, Stephen Moore. Also with us, U.S. Marine Corps veteran and producer of Faith Under Siege, Colby Barrett, and they both join us from Ukraine. Stephen, you have been back and forth between Ukraine and the United States since the war began, helping people, speaking out on behalf of the Ukrainian people, including these persecuted Christians. Talk to us about what you're seeing on the ground there.
Well, you know, in the occupied areas of Ukraine, there's 2.5 million Christians who cannot worship God the way that you and I can. And, Vladimir Putin has shut down every church in occupied Ukraine, and he has made it a crime punishable by 20 years in prison to just open a Bible with a half dozen of your friends in your own home. So, there's 2.5 million Christians in occupied Ukraine, and they cannot worship God the way you and I do.
Yeah. Colby, we know there have been dozens of Ukrainian clergy interrogated, beaten, even killed by Russian forces, as well as at least 600 churches destroyed. Ukraine's Protestant churches, particularly evangelical ones, seem to be a focus of these atrocities. What have faith leaders in Ukraine and their communities told you about the severity of these atrocities?
Numbers have gone up. When we made the documentary, the number was 630 churches destroyed. That has gone up to 650. The number of faith leaders, Christian faith leaders murdered by Russia was 47. It's now 49. And what you see, a specific targeting towards evangelical churches in the Russian-occupied territories for two reasons. One is faith is very disruptive to an authoritarian state that's trying to exert control.
That's right.
Also, Baptists, Pentecostals, these kind of denominations are seen as American faiths. And so it is also an attack on America to go after these religious leaders.
Stephen, the United States Senate expected to move ahead next week with a bill imposing sanctions on Russia, including perhaps a 500% tariff on imports from countries purchasing Russian oil and natural gas, according to a draft seen by Bloomberg. A lot of folks think that it's time to get tough with Vladimir Putin. What do you think is going to really bring him to the table here?
Well, President Trump has been very patient with Putin, probably more patient than I would be. And, he's been trying to resolve this problem, this conflict, this war, with using a lot of carrots for Vladimir Putin. And the unfortunate thing is Vladimir Putin does not understand carrots. He understands sticks. And so there is no way to get this war to end without using strength against Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
And, again, Vladimir Putin is one of the most evil men in the world. He's torturing Christians, as we show in our film. There's not a single Catholic priest left in occupied Ukraine.
Stephen, real quick for me, because I'm running out of time. Where can folks watching at home learn more about the documentary and watch A Faith Under Siege? Real quick.
Yeah, just go to YouTube, A Faith Under Siege. Go to faithundersiege.com, and we put it for free on YouTube. It's a very moving film. Be prepared to be moved when you watch this.
All right. Stephen Moore, Colby Barrett from Ukraine, thank you very much for taking the risk to bring this story to the world. Appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you.